Tatiana H. Irvin is a natural energy intuitive that has been serving her clients in private practice for over 15 years, utilizing metaphysical coaching techniques and energy balancing tools at Nurturing Hands and Bare Brilliance Coaching. Through fine-tuned intuitive coaching sessions, coupled with supported states of expanded personal awareness, each client is supported to grow in consciousness, balance, and clarity of genuine purpose. Assisting the client to recognize their own intuition and shift the frequency of energy in their bodies, homes, and businesses, each client is empowered to make tremendous strides in internal manifestation. Tatiana holds a master's degree in metaphysical science, energy leadership certificate from IPEC, medical intuitive certification, and various supporting certificates in energy awareness modalities. She has a PhD in holistic life coaching and authoring a book addressing the more profound aspects and stories of her work. Tatiana is a public speaker, teacher of energy leadership workshops, and founder of the holistic professional network Heal the Healer. Today, Dr. Irvin speaks on collaborative alliances and our service offerings. Please help me welcome Dr. Tatiana H. Irvin.
Thank you. It's a long walk up here. And there have been so many brilliant minds and souls with amazing energy, and I just want to bring all of that back to you now. I want to thank Dr. Masters for all obvious reasons in bringing us all here together. I want to thank Dr. Caldwell for so beautifully hosting everything that is keeping us engaged and listening passionately to one another. I want to thank the amazing, impeccable, and fastidious staff of both the University of Metaphysics in Sedona. I want to tell each of you how honored I am to be here, because you are my fellow students, you are colleagues, you are my brothers, you are my sisters. You are the macrocosm that brings us all together. And the only way to find our way into that macrocosm is to be working deeply within ourselves in that microcosm. And that's part of what I'm here to share with you today. A little over 2 years ago, I woke up from a meditative dream. Sometimes I slide between states with the best of intentions. And I woke up with the most profound sense of direction from my guidance, and that direction was, you are to stop your resistance in speaking. You are to fall back and trust that guidance would have you be a speaker, and to trust that you will know exactly what needs to be said. And you are to scrap absolutely everything you have on your dissertation thus far, and here is what you are meant to bring forth. And I sat right up out of bed and was so completely clear. Everything just streamed from me. And as many of you know, when you do your writing, that's exactly how it goes when you're in line with spirit, isn't it?
Yes.
Your dissertation, your master's thesis, whatever it is, your book, it flows through you. So I want to take you back just a little bit further, because that is the manifestation of my being here. I'm here to speak, to stop being in resistance to speaking, and I'll explain why that's happened in a moment. But also to bring the energy of what I believe guidance wanted me to share with you here on the topic of my dissertation. My dissertation was entitled Collaborative Healing in the New Age. That was the name that came through. Today I'm going to speak to you on collaborative alliances in our healing, or in our service practices. But what came really clear to me in my first life was that we all come into these experiences, and life experiences, with a set of core values that are meant to evolve, that are meant to grow, that are meant to deepen. And in my first life, I would never have found myself up here. I would not have been a graduate of this university. As many of you could probably say, how many lifetimes have we lived, right? Are you in your second, or in your third, or are you in your fifth? Most of us are constantly reinventing ourselves. As the good doctor on Intentional Community, I think he's lived at least 8. I was counting, and he had jumped from one to the next and constantly reinventing himself and growing and expanding, and I am here as a testimony of that. But my first core value, the very most indelible understanding that I had about my highest calling, was that of being a family, a devout family member, and a mother. And my mother is absolutely here holding that same solidarity for me in this moment, filming me as I speak. But I had a fabulous role model. The religion, the background, the culture, the tribe that I came from was all about building microcosm. It was all about building family. It was about building a teamship. No one was left behind. No man is an island. We are here to support each other powerfully. And if we can't create it internally, how can we go out into the world and share that concept of oneness? It has to start somewhere first. And so I was determined. I was impeccable. I will be the best mother, I will be the best homeschooler, I will be the best holistic care practitioner, every level with which I could show up for my family. And thought that I was arriving. And after reaching a level of what I would have felt was millionaire status, and gosh, we've got the money and the house and the businesses and the 4 beautiful children and the health and the vitality, Spirit wanted me to learn a very powerful lesson, and it all burned down. Everything was lost. The marriage was lost. I found myself a single mother with 4 children, homeless. From that status to this, without the assistance of my former husband. And I remember asking the Lord, why? What is this about? Because my connection with guidance was strong. I was paying attention. I was listening. And what I heard was, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct thy paths. Because Spirit's going to talk to me in the language of my childhood and the language of my family, of my tribe. So that came through very clearly. There's more for you to know. There's more for you to understand. And as I took the modalities and everything that I had learned, the certifications, the healing, and pulled it together and said, okay, what am I meant to do now? How am I meant to serve? Without ever letting go of those core values, it became very clear. Go out into the world and offer your services now, not just on a charitable basis or a donation basis, or because I didn't really need to worry about that before. And all I could see was lack. I'm like, I'm starting from upside down. I'm starting from nowhere. Lack and scarcity is so pervasive in our society. It is absolutely a constant state of consciousness that we are being constantly attacked from the outside without even realizing how often it's being presented in front of us. And for me, it wasn't a part of my consciousness really until the point that it all demonstrated itself to me physically. And so how do I overcome this? And I realized, no, the divine and I are one. And I'm going to go out into the world and I'm going to be able to give my services, my gift, and I'm going to hold on to those core values. And the next step was, how do I emulate those that have helped me get here? Because again, that's part of that macrocosmic belief and understanding. There were those that were so powerfully influential in how I practiced in my healing and practiced in my intuitive work and absolutely supported me in believing that we all have a unique voice. We all have a way that we're meant to show up in the world. It doesn't matter how many other people have said it, like you before. You have a very specific, a very select way with which you are meant to reach out to someone who is just in that moment in perfect alignment with you. So I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to show up. And I stepped into that world and recognized, wow. Even in this world of metaphysics, in this world of holistic health, in this world of alternative thought, there are those that are operating from the old mindset of scarcity, lack, territorialism, a sense of competition and tug of war. And I had no way of being able to embrace what was never a part of my belief system to begin with, and believe that that was meant to be my business model, that I needed to come out there and I was going to take clients away from somebody else, that I was going to over-promote myself to the point that I made others uncomfortable, that I was even going to hold a presence that for me to win, someone else had to lose, because that is a model that we see in our systems today. That is in our economy. That is in the world of business. It's an old patriarchal model that I would state to all of you, and I'm sure you all know deeply anyway, is an old model. It is a failed model, and it is ready for a new paradigm, a return to the truth, a return to our point of origins, where we are all here for one another. And as I stepped into my practice, I realized I'm going to look for win-win scenarios everywhere that I can find them. Shared space with some fabulous massage therapists, and we started to build up trade, because the concept of physician heal thyself, as Dr. Masters said earlier this evening, was absolutely in my head. I need to be able to find cross-supportive people that are going to come into my experience that I can support with what I have to offer, and also be able to participate because I like my adjustments. I enjoy having those massages. I recognize that I'm not meant to be an island. I want to be able to appreciate the talents and the abilities of others. And so how can I do that in a way that honors them and in a way that honors me as well and is also sustainable? And what was created was a beautiful network of varying professionals, colleagues, practitioners, metaphysicians. We had even very high-minded, very spiritually aware financial advisors that came into the group. We were able to attract metaphysical talk show hosts that came into the group. It was amazing to me that as soon as there was, if you build it, they will come. If you create an energy that is a like attraction of we really want to create win-win scenarios, we can step out of lack together. Because what happens when you start from a place that there's plenty and there is nothing but cross-promotion, cross-support, a belief that for me to win, you can win also, and that there are opportunities for me to recognize that at some point, my clients are going to need more than me, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's a blessing. It's a blessing for them, because I want them to grow beyond what I can offer them. It is a blessing to those that are in my immediate surroundings that I can refer to and remind my clients, you can further your growth, further your strength, further your wellness, if you work with this person as well. And when we found that there was no competition, when we got really clear that this was a strong collective, we had created intimate referral. If I've experienced your practice, if I've experienced what you have to offer, I am not only healthier, I am not only more fortified, I am also experiencing your level of service at an intimate level that I can refer you and know what are your ideal clients. Can you imagine having your ideal clients? How often do we attract people and we kind of wonder, how did that person come around? This level of exchange provided intimate referrals so that not only were we able to work with those clients to bring them into a space that was so much more powerful, that was so much more speedy in their recovery, in their wellness, in their spiritual growth, but it also created a situation with which we could really narrow down who was going to best be served by whom. This organization was named Heal the Healer because it seemed completely evident to me. HealTheHealer.org. We, of course, had to create the media scene because we really want to be able to have a presence and want to be able to attract and be able to get that message out there. And once the blog started to go, we realized that there were people in Europe, there were people in the UK, we even had quite a few people out of Arizona when it first began that said, how are you doing this? Tell us what you're doing. How are you creating a space with which everyone is thriving? Because the old lack model cannot exist when this is implemented. Because now you've got clients that are coming to you. Now you have patients. You have those that are specifically desiring your needs that were referred to you, and they trust that you are a good fit. And the universe would have it that they are. And now your lack is turned into abundance. It is turned into surplus. It is turned into repeat referral. It is a blessing that sees itself all the way through. It has been very much my testimony that that is what was the next stage of the experience I was meant to have. I needed to start from a place of family. I needed to start from a place of microcosm. How do we create teamship here? How do we create win-wins for each of us? How do I make sure that none within this deep family and loving sanctuary, no one feels left behind or deprioritized? Everyone needs to win. Everyone needs to have an opportunity to have a voice. Had I not held that core value, I may have stepped into the next phase of my experience believing that this is the old school model for me to be able to succeed. I'm going to have to promote myself this way. I'm going to have to, be willing to say, well, I don't think that person's energy is that clean, or, gosh, I'm kind of wondering how they're, managing given the fact that they've got a full-time job and they're doing this on the side. There was a lot of that going on. And to really honor everyone, it was to honor them right where they were. It was really to respect that they were delivering in their highest and best. And there was no way for me to take the core values of family and teamship and the win-win philosophy and principle if I could not expand on that into the macrocosm that was awaiting greater expression in serving those in my community. It continues to inspire, it continues to grow, and it is a reminder to me that this is the truth. That is the oneness right there. It is in a small scale from where I am coming from and where I practice and where I serve, but it is far-reaching in its concept. It is absolutely in alignment with divine order and as we seek to support one another. And if I can, I would like to just read to you the credos that we agree to when those that are drawn to our group choose to participate. In a collaborative model, we are part of a whole, sharing in our various talents and capacities towards the overall good of humanity. We see our unique place in the grand scale as valuable, necessary, and sustainable. To be in integrity with our work, it would be essential to serve from a place of sincerity and trust that those that we attract to our purpose have been drawn to us. There is a far greater drive to offer our professional services in excellence when we operate from a mindset of trusting that the universe is in divine order and abundant. We can create wealth of benefits for ourselves and for one another and our clients when we engage from this vision of trust. We respectfully support the unique talents, skills, and modalities of each practitioner. We hold the vision of abundance and plenty in clients seeking our unique contributions. When we open ourselves as a personal needs required to the supportive services of our contributing colleagues, we are stronger, we are fortified. Through this exchange, intimate referral is created to provide more authentic and meaningful recommendations to our clients whose needs may exceed our offerings, which is okay. Camaraderie, professional ethics, natural support systems, and meaningful connections made between collaborative practitioners while maintaining personal health and professional referrals increase practice revenue for all involved. This is far more than a simple barter system. Barter systems have been in existence since the beginning of time. But in respect of that, this exchange embraces the truth that the universe is unending supply, generous and accessible. Our participation in this vision expands our health, our wealth, our vitality, and on every level for those that we serve. It is nothing short of a return to the truth. And that truth, I stand before you today to say, is oneness. I win when you win. I'm inspired when you grow, when you are profitable, when you are healthy, when you overcome cancer, when you demonstrate that we can resurrect the millionaire. We inspire each other in an unlimited way, and that ripple effect is meant to be that powerful and that palpable. And I am living in this second phase of my life with such a sense of gratitude for all that it has brought to those that I have been able to have an impact on. The ugliest times of my life have become the exact place with which I can support others now. I can tell you I've been all the way down to what I view as the bottom for me. And coming back out of it again, the last thing you want to let go of is that sense of integrity, that sense of authenticity, and that sense of connectedness to those that are deeply, deeply drawn to us and are part of our experience. And I support each of you as you go forward into the world, that your voice is unique, that your voice needs to be heard, that there's never too much. People are waking up every day, and they're waking up to the concept that we can share, There's enough for every single one of us to be that successful. And I'm so tremendously grateful for the examples that you set for me. Thank you.